chunky coat. I'm all ready. I'm prepared for the cold. Let's get going. I set off early morning towards Gatwick, which is what I'm used to using. It's a kind of comfort airport for me since I know where everything is from the amount of times I've flown from here, except this time I'm using Iceland Air, which is probably the snazziest economy seat I've ever had, mainly for the fact I could follow the plane journey, which is in a way made it feel quicker, alongside the USB sockets and reclining seats of course. Whilst we were landing, it was just seeing a lot of sea, as we were landing pretty much right next to the coast, and girl, we know Iceland is isolated, but it's so different in person, seeing barely any use of land, with trees or houses, but just earth, straight earth. I caught the next flybus from Keflavik airport to get into Reykjavik, which is the city. The main landscape had scattered neat houses. Some building kinda looks sketchy, like a cult is hosted there. Lots of seas and rivers with plenty of mountains on open land. The air was notably egg smelling, which is from the sulphur, but I promise you eventually no longer notice it. I eventually did make it to my hotel, but not without a struggle, as I'll summarise in the next clip. I've made it to the hotel. I arrived first before because I'm coming from different countries. Here is the bathroom. It actually looks really nice. Ooh, big circle mirror. Hello. Toilet. Towels. Very simple room, really. This is the view. Hopefully you can't. I'm trying to make it so you don't see my reflection. The moment I got here, I was exhausted because everything was going very smoothly until I took the flybus and it arrived at the bus terminal. I wanted to save money, so I picked get a local bus back to the hotel rather than get a direct bus. Little did I know that was a horrible idea. Iceland is very isolated and very confusing. I went to the exact stop Google Maps said. I went on the exact number bus. The stops weren't lining up with my device. So I was like, I'm gonna wing it and get off when Google Maps tells me to get off. And I get off. Somehow I'm even further from the hotel. I'm gonna follow Google Maps this time. I'm gonna look at the route, complete opposite direction. I got off the second I noticed that. At that point I was so bothered that I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna walk. Predicted 50 minutes of walk, and it took longer because even the walk route was confusing me. There was no paths next to the road. It was telling me to walk on the road. I broke down in tears. I can't lie. People I was talking to, mainly my friend, he was like, just get a taxi. And I'm like, bitch, who do I ask for the taxi? The hotel was a self-check-in hotel. I've never seen that before, and I didn't have the available information. Finally got the info, went to my room. The code was not making the door open. On the brink of tears, because I was just like, please, that it just opened at some point. So I was like, oh. And then I flopped on the bed, and that's how we're in this situation. And I'm really hungry, but I'm tired as well, so I need to set off. But I wanted to update real quick. I think I'll end this for day one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Mwah. Yo, you look like some guy from a 2010s band. It is very cold. We are on the bus to Lava Tours. We got up real early to make our way towards our first tour called Lava Tunnel, going deep to the point of no return. Our guide showed a lot of charisma as he explained all the random coloured rocks being silica, copper, and even a unique bacteria officially named Bob.
That it is very likely, actually, we will find bacteria like this one on Mars. So right now we are basically in the presence of an alien life form.
Also how sheep tend to be the first to find the caves because they fall into them, which, poor them.
Straight move. Beautiful.
We are in a literal cave right now. Bro. Joji and I were totally shivering our timbers when the guide discussed the struggle of getting lost in a cave with no light, and even demonstrated it by removing all light in the cave. It was so creepy, and I have a new fear unlocked. Yay! The tour guide made the entire cave go pitch black, and it was so weird. Leaving the tour, we came back to the city where we ate at a fish and chip shop, which is pretty much Iceland cuisine out here along the coastline, and it had a really nice collection of clocks. And after that we decided, so many clocks, we gotta go see the cathedral, this gothic looking big chunky long church. Also known as
Hallgrímskirkja.
This doesn't come across as a Catholic church, as it's very bare inside and Jesus is a gorgeous Viking man, so there isn't really much to mention except the nice arched ceilings and the massive pretty organ in the back. Feels like what a Quaker church could kind of look like. We also paid to see inside the clock tower, which was only really worth it for the view of Iceland, but on the other hand, you're literally inside time. Whoa. Yeah, we ditched the clock tower pretty quickly and started going into town, and that's when we came across Punk Museum. This wasn't your general museum, as it really was kind of just showing punk themed things with articles on the walls, but also these punk kids in charge were doing band practice live. The museum used to be an old public bathroom, as to why it's so tiny and full of pooper pots everywhere. And it's a shame it was hard to take it all in, as with the cramped space and the really loud atmosphere and banging in our ears, Joji and I could not talk to each other. It didn't give us a fair chance to learn anything new about punk except the fact it exists in Iceland as well. Surprise, surprise! I'm also confused because I thought punks and hippies were on the same page about things, like, guys! It was tough to not get overstimulated, so we eventually left and kept exploring what shops had for us simpleton tourists. The nightlife actually looked really cool. There was a lot of themed places like the Piggy, in a cute little raincoat restaurant, Irish and American pubs, even the graffiti looks really cool. Also spotting a cheeky Pablo disco bar. We settled for Los Tres Locos, a Mexican themed spot. I had octopus and Joji had tacos, but we accidentally bought the most expensive dessert on the menu. Like, damn, the one time I want dessert and it's a mistake. My bank account couldn't sleep that night.
And that's a wrap on these choked pearls. Oh.
To finish the evening, we went back to the church to see the pretty lights and pose cutely in front of the camera. Then went home to sleep to get ready for tomorrow. Like sleep-deprived Vicky said, we set off for Blue Lagoon at 5 AM for the bus to take us there, and it was so dark still that the colours of the steam were popping. But it was so worth it coming early, as the sky and lagoon looked so dreamy together. Literally looked like a stereotype of a nice stream floating on clouds alongside the toasty water. The lagoon was massive, with lots of areas to explore through the mysterious mist, which even had an area where no phones or cameras were allowed, so people can chill without worrying about being recorded or disturbed. We really rated that spot.
Pretty. Two cameras. What the frick is going on? Oh my god.
You cannot convince me that this isn't beautiful and stunning and fabulous. They even included a free drink and a free mask in their underwater hubs, or you could pick a different one and pay for it with your wristband. Yay!
Why you always get to violence? I'm gonna call up my boss and say I'm quitting. I wanna live here and staying.
You don't even work. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, last time I was close. Second time.
I have no clue.
No huele como.
I don't know. This was just a mistake if it's wrong.
I look scary.
Lo has puesto en el labio, puta.
This is the face of the ultimate skincare devil coming out of me right now. The irony is I got sick the next day. After Jojo and I spent a jolly 5 hours or so in this place, we thought, let's cut the trip short and let's get heading out. Outside we saw these frozen lagoons that were just outside of it that clearly aren't meant to be bathed in because they're frozen solid. They would have been pretty to explore, but we had to get a bus ride back right away, so we were leaving and saw Blue Lagoon from the daytime, which is very nice as well. Wakey wakey, it's another day of touring, and today it's a whole load of things. We started off in the mid-Atlantic ridge, which is between the two tectonic plates where all the earthquakes happened if you know geography, and you can see the land is just tearing up, but the sunset was so pretty. You would never know. It was extremely cold. It was -1 degrees because we were up super early, so it was very chilly, but it was all fun and games. We were looking at this place and the view was gorgeous. So I don't know why random houses are there in the middle of seems like nowhere, but isn't that Iceland in general? Yeah, Jojo approves. It's crazy to think there were like 800 earthquakes whilst we were in Iceland, but we felt none of them. Next in the circle was seeing the hot springs, and they were steaming, as you can see. That tells me it's hot, bubbling with fury, getting all piped up. That's called Little Geyser because it literally means little geyser. That's so cute. And there's the famous one because it's the only one that explodes, as you'll see now. It would shoot up every 5 to 10 minutes, so conveniently you could capture it on camera. Even if you missed the first one, it'll come again. So don't even look into that because you would die. It's me getting a little selfie there and putting on my shades. Looking really incognito there. We didn't want to stray too far from the tour, so we went to explore the gift shop, and it was full of Viking related stuff, and they were really cool. Some were like authentically made. Naturally they were crazy expensive for our budget, but at least they were really cool to see that how they were made. And that brings us to our final stop of the Golden Circle trip, which was Gullfoss Falls, which was very impressive in person. The path was too slippery because it was cold, so we couldn't see it really up close, but it was so gorgeous. Like all those waterfalls on top of each other. Like damn, it was so pretty. And it had like an icy look to it, and it even created a rainbow from all that mist. So gorgeous. So cutie pie. Because of the busy morning, we really just wanted to rest for the evening so that we could see Northern Lights. Now you could be asking right now, Vicky, what is this quality? Well, here's the video if it wasn't highly edited. Where are the Northern Lights? They're not there. So unfortunately, these kind of have crap quality, but at least we can see the lights on video, and you can see they're so gorgeous in the way they were just striping along the sky like a little globby green thing. So alien. They came out a lot nicer on camera, so here's me and Jojo just having the most time of our lives, just being so curious about these cool lights, which was a nice end to our day. Well, this is something you probably wouldn't expect from Iceland, and aren't we so glad we found it? Iceland people really appreciate their PPs, so it's only natural we embrace this, culture, right? This is honestly just such a goofy museum. Like, who is coming here to study these penises seriously to the T? It's more like, that's so you, and that huge one is so mine. Also the most appropriate place to shout horsecock out of nowhere, and the only place to find a genuine micro penis. Who would have thought? The whale's parts were almost as tall as me, which is insane, and this heroic Icelandic man donated his actual weenie to the museum for the rest of the world to admire. If you like Jimi Hendrix, then here's a lovely surprise for you. I want this up in my bedroom.
What?
Ew. Christmas penis.
Christmas.
Why do they have penises of non-existing characters?
It is disgusting. So much penis talk and cock jokes was making us feeling quite peckish, so really we were getting ready to go eat some. Excuse me, you pervert, I'm talking about leg cock, clearly. And it was a lovely little joint for burgers. All scrumptious, which made us ready to go see a more serious museum, which was the history of Iceland. It was essentially walking through with an audio guide looking at these realistic figures that sort of played out a little bit of the story we were hearing, and they looked pretty well made, like they look gorgeous. And I found this Viking man that kind of looked like Niall if he was a gorgeous Viking man. Which makes sense because many Vikings came from Ireland, and my attention span was very minimal, so a lot of it I didn't quite catch on. So I could vaguely recite it to you if I really wanted to. Just don't ask me questions. I had to go up close to confirm this was just a statue as well, because it looked a little too real. But yes, that now concluded our day 5 of our trip. The things we decided to do today was very much last minute decision making, because we figured, you know what, let's just chill out today. Let's do another lagoon, see how it compares to Blue Lagoon, considering that's the most popular one. And Sky Lagoon is on a much smaller scale and much closer to home. There was access to a lot less things unless you upgraded, but at least this time it overlooked the sea, which was a really nice view. Joji and I were menaces to society by dragging each other's bodies whenever people were recording to really weird people out. The sun was in my eyes for like the entire time, but at least there was a really gorgeous sunset overlooking the sea, and even in front of the local airport. As you see, our evening activity was going to see real life lava in person, and my oh my, it was so bright and glowy, and the warmth instantly hit our faces. It was very cool. The camera doesn't pick it up well because it's glowing so much, but there was a lot of bubbling on the surface as he mixed it with ice, showed all the burning crust, and kept lifting up the lava as it was drying to show underneath that it was still over 600 degrees hot. It was pretty awesome to get a glance of this in person. We're even able to see it dried up completely, as this type of lava was similar to glass, so it dried slow but quicker than the thick stuff. And that finalised our Iceland trip, where Joji and I returned back to our respective countries. Now back to the studio.
Hello everyone! I am back in England again. Sorry for the random jump cuts throughout this vlog. That was because I got sick. When I tell you every country I've been to this year, I have been sick. I had a very good time. Like Iceland, like no other holiday I've been on. I've only ever been on hot holidays. For once going to a winter holiday. Completely different climate, volcanoes everywhere, all the water is clean, and the hot water is instant. I didn't want to leave. It's not perfect. It has its imperfections. One of them being everything is so expensive. But honestly, I had like such a great time that I was very disappointed to come into the UK. It was unfortunate the last few days I did get sick. I couldn't let myself rest to really enjoy the experience further. It's just annoying to get sick on holidays. You don't want to miss out on stuff that you're probably not going to see again, so you have to force yourself out to try and enjoy it as best as you can. I really recommend Iceland as a trip. It's such a unique experience. It's very much a place that geography and geologists would like. I did geography in GCSE, and hearing about these volcanoes and stuff like that, I was just like, oh, this is my jam! It's kind of biased a little bit, of course, because in the city there's going to be way more expensive shops. There's going to be people of all kinds of languages there, so it's not like, I guess, completely authentic to Iceland experience. Your girl's a bit tired. I've been up since 1 AM travelling. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here really. I hope you really enjoyed the video. If you liked this vlog content, I've got previous videos where I visited Italy and Portugal. If you're interested in going, go. You gotta go at some point in your life at least. If you want to support the channel, you like my videos, then like please subscribe. You can be caught up with upcoming content. Until the next video guys, love ya. Love.